Welcome to Finance Deep Dive. Today we're going to tackle a question that might just change how you think about money forever. And I promise we're going to answer it by the end of this video. So let's jump right in.
Okay, check this out. 8 out of 10. That is the number of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. It's this insane cycle, right? Money comes in and poof, it's gone. It feels like you're running on a treadmill that's just getting faster and faster, and you can never, ever get ahead.
So that leads to the big question we're tackling today. What if the secret to wealth isn't about earning more, but actually wanting less? We're going to dig deep into that. But first, I want to get a little personal and show you just how deep that debt hole can really get.
See, for a long time, I was, let's just say, terrible with money. I mean, really bad. And my habits? They dug me into a place I call the $100,000 hole.
Yep. Negative $97,000. That was my reality right after college. All student loans. My net worth wasn't zero. It was deep in the red. It honestly felt like I was trying to swim with a backpack full of rocks, just sinking with no way to get to the surface.
So, what's the first thing I did? The logical thing? Nope. I made it worse. A lot worse. I went out and bought a brand new car. Then I added a TV, a new computer, and even a cool leather jacket to the credit card. It was like I was just ignoring this giant gaping hole at my feet, pretending it wasn't there.
But somehow, over the next 4 years, I clawed my way out. I paid off every single penny. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done for sure. And I did it by following one super simple but deceptively difficult rule. And here it is. This is the law. Spend less money than you make. That's it. The whole game of personal finance boiled down to one sentence. It's the only formula you need to win. So, if it's so easy, why is it so incredibly hard for almost everyone?
Right? Why does money just seem to evaporate no matter how much you earn? Well, it's because we're not just fighting against ourselves, against our own bad habits. We're fighting these powerful, invisible forces that are literally designed to make us fail. Let's call them what they are: financial traps.
And there are 3 big ones, 3 major traps that act like invisible enemies, just quietly draining your bank account when you're not even looking.
So let's break them down. We've got lifestyle creep, persuasive advertising, and of course, social pressure. And the tricky thing is, they all work together to keep you stuck. Okay, first up, lifestyle creep. You know how this goes. You get a pay raise, so you immediately start looking for a nicer apartment. You get a bonus, and suddenly that old car just won't do. Your income goes up, sure, but your spending inflates right along with it. It's like a race where the finish line just keeps moving further and further away.
All right, next on the list is persuasive advertising. We are bombarded with this message all day, every day. It's that little voice whispering in your ear, "You've worked so hard. You deserve this." It's so powerful because it reframes spending money from a choice to a right, a reward you've supposedly earned.
But let's think about that. The ads say you deserve a new watch, a new handbag, the latest sneakers. But what do you actually deserve? You deserve to be free from debt. You deserve the peace of mind that comes from not living paycheck to paycheck. That's real deserving. And the final trap, the social pressure cooker. Oh yeah. It's keeping up with the Joneses, or let's be real, the Kardashians on Instagram. It's that gut-wrenching FOMO, the fear of missing out. And it's also that sneaky little myth we tell ourselves, the I don't have excuse. Like, oh, I can't start working out until I have those expensive leggings. It's all just an excuse to buy stuff we don't need.
Okay, so these forces are everywhere, pushing us to spend, spend, spend. How in the world do you fight back? Well, here's a simple 3-part battle plan to do just that.
And look, this isn't about some complicated spreadsheet or a get-rich-quick scam. It's about changing your mindset. It's about making sacrifices, finding your why, and this is a big one, breaking the money taboo. We have to start talking about money with our partners, our families, our friends. It's the only way.
First, sacrifice. You have to make some. For me, this was huge. I moved back home into my parents' basement for 2 years. Yeah, my social life took a nosedive, I didn't go out much, but I knew I had to make a serious short-term sacrifice to build a real foundation for my long-term future.
But here's the key. You have to know why you're doing it. What's your why? Is it so you can take care of your family? So you can finally quit that soul-crushing job? Maybe it's to start your own business. When you have a really powerful why,
The sacrifice doesn't feel like a loss. It feels like an investment in the future you actually want.
And look, this whole journey, it's not just about getting your bank account from negative to zero. The real payoff, the real reward, is something so much more valuable than money. It's freedom, the freedom to choose. Being debt-free gave me the power to take huge, ambitious risks. I moved across the country to start a new business. These were choices that would have been absolutely impossible if I was still buried under all that debt.
By the way, if you're liking this content, please don't forget to subscribe. It really motivates us to keep posting and helps more people find their own path to freedom. So that brings us back full circle, right back to that question from the beginning. Now that we've walked through the traps and the paths of freedom, I think we can finally answer it.
So what's the secret? It's not about wanting less. It's not about living a life of deprivation. It's about wanting the right things. It's about wanting freedom, wanting security, wanting the ability to take big swings in your life. Wanting all of that more than you want a new car or a fancier apartment. Look, this strategy is so simple. Spend less than you make. But the forces pushing you in the other direction are incredibly powerful. Outmaneuvering them, that's the real game. That's the path to financial freedom. So the only question left for you is, what's your next smart decision? Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.